What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping, man? You know we in the building, man. The cook up. Uh, you know how we get started, man. How we cook up, baby, in this kitchen, man. It's Tuesday, 10 a.m. I'm glad the people up in here, man. I'm glad I'm up in here. My boy Cody up in here, man. Good weekend of football. I don't know about last night, but I went to sleep early, messing with that game. But outside of that, man, I can't complain. Tight ends showed up for us for their holiday, man. We might got to put this on the calendar, man. People that work on those days need those days off just to be able to stay home and watch the tight ends ball out like that. So, yeah, man. Overall, though, good weekend of football. And how you feeling this morning, Coach?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, that game last night, 9-9 halftime, came out. I watched the first couple drives of the third quarter, and I was like, all right, click.
Yeah.
Shut
I want to sleep at halftime too. That's why I said I ain't even finished it. So
I just zapped. Actually, I watched like the George Pickens deep ball down the left sideline, which I think was like midway through the third quarter. And then as soon as that happened, I was like, all right, Russ is cooking. I'm done. I tapped out. I'm Gucci on that. Steelers 6-2. Look like an entirely different Steelers team than what we saw, even with Justin Fields at the helm at the beginning of the year against that easier schedule. Now they go into a bye at 6-2. This team's in a good spot. We talked about it last week. The schedule on the back end, it's got some bumps in it, but nothing that the Steeler team can't get through, especially with Russ playing the way he's playing. So I thought it was a good Monday night to finish it out. And then you talked about the tight ends, man. The tight ends, I guess I hadn't realized it was tight ends day until maybe Scott Hansen said it like the 16th time.
That's exactly when I figured it out, bro. I would have made me a nice ticket, man, of some money, bro. I didn't know until that time.
I saw some guys out there that dropped like a $50 bill on maybe it's a $25 bill on like 6 of these tight ends that scored touchdowns. He ended up hitting like a 50 rack on that George Kittle one. But
yeah, man.
I'll be honest with you, it was cool, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was a little bit annoyed with how much Scott Hansen was talking about it. I guess it's like, okay, bring it up when somebody scores a touchdown, and then bring it up, give us an update at the end. But it was just like, it felt like every single game he went to, it was tight end. I was like, dude, all right, like there's still football going on, not just tight end day. Like that was the one.
I will say this though, even though he was extra hyping it and talking about it too much, he had to. It was tight end scoring every 5 seconds though, bro. It was like, if you watching the red zone, I mean, every red zone touchdown was a tight end. So it's almost like the coaches drew it up that way. You know what I'm saying? We had backup tight ends scoring. It was crazy, man.
If I asked you this, do you know when the National Tight Ends Day started? Because I thought this was kind of funny when he goes, today has been the most touchdowns we've ever seen on National Tight Ends Day. And I go to myself, I know damn well this thing just started like 5 years ago.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I heard, because I mean, they definitely broke a record, but hey, man, records are made to be broken, I guess, bro. So I guess they're trying to make it a thing, and tight ends don't get a lot of love, and neither should they the way they've been playing this year. So, hey, man, I'm all for it, brother. I always wanted to play tight end, man. So show him some love, Cody, man. Show him some love, man. That's all I'm saying.
A little bit.
All right. All right, man. Well, we got a couple of people in here, man. I guess they still waking up. They trying to sprinkle in, but all right, Pops, I see you, man. Hey, we're gonna get on that Jayden Daniels tip a little later, man. But congrats to you, man. My boy Mr. Voorhees was good, brother. Fantasy Condo, what's up, man? You in the crib chilling, man, cooking some eggs and bacon and sausage, bro. So glad you up in here with us today. My boy Rock always in the building, cooking up, man. So yeah, man, we glad y'all here. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna look at, I guess, a couple of games, and we definitely gonna touch back on that tight end aspect of it and how they really celebrated their day. But overall, before we even looking at some games, what was your biggest take on this week's week 8, and what was your vibe like going into week 9 for whatever position or team or player, or just your take overall on the week?
I think overall, and the thing was, I mean, I opened up, I guess, with it a little bit with the Steelers. The Steelers team, I don't want to say they're for real, but I think that they are going to start earning more and more respect as the days go by. Van Jefferson had a bunch of nice catches in this game. Russ has been able to seemingly unlock Pickens. This offense is flowing differently. They're 6-2. The Commanders, I know we'll talk about the Commanders here in a little bit. That thing, I mean, that was a sweat of all time. In the Circa Millions this weekend, we had the Bears +2, and the Commanders came back and scored that touchdown, and that was a mess. But that was I mean, that is the Jayden Daniels experience. That is
100%.
the difference in having these guys. And we expected nothing less if it was going to be Caleb versus Jayden, something to go down to the wire. These top two quarterbacks in this last draft class. The interesting thing, I think, maybe is these three teams, right? The Falcons, they weasel their way out of Tampa Bay with a win. The Broncos are now sitting at 5-3. The Broncos are sitting at 5-3. They've won 5 of the last 6 games. They lost their Chargers by a touchdown. Trying to figure out exactly what the Broncos are.
Me too.
Like, I feel like this team has, I feel like it has the proponents of a team that can make the playoffs, but also the proponents of a team that should suck. If that makes sense. I think we're probably a year early on the Broncos, but it is cool to see them at least, stacking some dubs. And then the last one just has to be that Sunday Night Football game. And I know you maybe you don't want to talk about this, but
we can talk about it, man.
I thought the boys had this one. First half looked good. I thought they were establishing it in the first half, and then that third quarter just kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and Cody, listen, man, tank for tat, man. I've been saying it. Now it's official. My biggest thing with that game was the 49ers got our number, 1. But 2, man, we just can't close out games when they come down to crunch time. And also, George Kittle just would, no matter what, make sure he beat the Cowboys. Like, that's his goal in life, I guess, to beat the Cowboys and break records and do what he do. But overall, for us, man, I'm glad we lost, man. It's time to look in the mirror, man. Get these coaches out of here. Just refresh, restart the energy in this locker room. And you can't do it if you winning games and going 10-6 or 11-5 and, going to the playoffs, because now you making it look like you got a chance. But when you lose games like this, continue to lose, somebody gonna have to press a button on get these dudes out of here. So I ain't mad at the loss, man. Some losses like that wake people up sometimes. So I ain't mad at it at all, bro.
Did you see the thing of Dalvin Cook taking a little sip of a little nip before the game?
Nah, I ain't see that.
Oh boy, you didn't see this? He had like a little see if I can show it here. Here, I'll share my screen. I'll share my screen. I thought you saw this. I was gonna.
I ain't see that, bro.
Right. So he wasn't cooking up, but he was drinking up right here. Check this out. He had like a little 99 bananas or something here on the sideline.
Hey, he got some Tito's on the side, man, for sure. That's a wild boy right there, man. The cook, man. Hey, look, he said he should be on the cook up. He deserves to be on the cook up with the last name Cook, and he over there drinking in the kitchen, man. Shout out to Dalvin Cook, man. That's my boy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Got that debut in this week. Didn't look that great. Averaging 2 yards
for sure. For sure. They let Zeke actually look good. So that's like, this game was just off script anyway, man. But yeah, I think I'm with you on the Broncos, but I will say this team, but like I know you said like you're not sure what this team is. I would say this reminds me of one of those 500 Mike Tomlin teams where we knew they weren't going to be good in the playoffs or win nothing, but they can win 8 games, 9 games, and finish 500. Like I think that's best case scenario for them to finish 9-8 and just not be productive past that. But they just middle of the road. But honestly, winning 9 games for this team is a Super Bowl because we had them picking in the top 5 maybe this year's coming up. So I'm not sure if it's a good thing for the actual future, like as far as the draft selections to be picking later, but for the morale of the team and Sean Payton keeping his job and the Broncos fans, to not have to get rid of Jerry Jeudy, have Cortland Sutton be up, down. You got Troy Franklin dropping passes, no consistent running back, and you still 5-3. So, hey, man, the Broncos doing their thing, and sad to say, they might actually end up 9-7 and miss out on some of those receivers that they probably need in the first round anyway. But I actually like this Broncos team, man. They're fun to watch, and I think they got the Ravens coming up soon, either this week or next week. But that's going to be a good test for them too. So Yeah, man, I like the Ravens. I mean, the Broncos, man, they pretty solid team overall, record wise. So, yeah, I mean, let's get straight to it, man. I know that Thursday night game is how we usually kick it off, and that was a hell of a game and something that we want to talk about anyway. So, let's talk about your Minnesota Vikings, man, and how you pretty much said if they played the Detroit Lions the week before, they lose the next week, and you were still calling for them to lose this game anyway. So they didn't go down without a fight, though. I will give you that. They went down without a face mask, but not a fight, bro. So what you think about your Vikings, man, and this game overall?
I thought the first half was good. I thought both teams came out strong. I think they both scored in the first two drives. The Vikings have been pretty good first quarter defense, especially. And as this thing just kept going, there was no real slowdown or hiccup on the Rams side of things, I thought. And I did think the Sam Darnold thing at the end, the face mask, the safety, that was egregious. But I mean, let's be honest. If they get that 15-yard penalty, that's going to put them at the 20 or the 15, probably around the 20 with a minute 30 left. Like, that's not really – they're probably not going to go down and score a touchdown and get the 2-point and go to overtime and do all this. Like, it's not really that big of a deal, but it is just more of the semantics of the thing. But and again, I was right. Sure, I was right about they play the Lions next week if that thing happens. But that's like a known – thing after playing the Rams or after they're playing the Lions. But the thing about this Rams game is didn't you find it interesting that they just kind of like snuck the Puka Nacua thing in? Like Cooper Kupp was like, oh yeah, Cooper might play. Cooper's probably going to play. And then it was like game time decision, active Puka Nacua. And everyone's like, oh, this cat's going to run like 8 routes.
And then Sean McVay, bro.
It was like a whole different dynamic. So, would have this been the result if Puka and Kupp didn't play or just one of these guys played? I'm not sure. This Rams team looks different with Puka and Kupp in there for obvious reasons. Demarcus Robinson still look good. The running game they got going. The Vikings now lost 2 in a row, both against pocket passers in Goff and Stafford. I think it'll be interesting, and this both coming off of a bye. Right. And we did see against the Jets with Rodgers, a pocket passer predominantly. We saw hiccups. We also saw against the Packers, the Vikings got up big and Love brought him back a little bit, even though we threw some picks.
Yeah.
The defense is starting to get figured out. I've told you about it. When you go back to the Sam Bradford year as a Minnesota Viking, they started out 5-0, hit the bye. They ended up the year 8-8. I'm not saying that's going to happen because the schedule's pretty nice, but part of that nice schedule was the Rams and the Colts and the Jags, and they get the Colts this week on Sunday Night Football. I'll be very interested to see, and I know it's Tuesday, we're talking about this in week 9, but Sunday Night Football this week, this game got flexed into Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
And the stuff surrounding Anthony Richardson right now, he's the worst. I think he's dead last in completion percentage, 44%. The stat that I saw, I think CBS tweeted it out, and then the cockamamie Dovey Kleiman had to take it and make it one of his tweets of his own. See if I can pop this thing up here. I'm not going to pop it up on the screen, but I got to find it and recall exactly what the stat was. Lowest completion percentage in season among qualified quarterbacks over the last 20 seasons. Fourth to last, J.P. Lossman, 49.6%, Buffalo Bill. Third to last, Jamarcus Russell, 48.8%, 2009. Second to last, Tim Tebow, 46.5%, 2011. And dead last in the last 20 years, Anthony Richardson, 44.4%. I understand his rushing ability. I understand all this, right? I think Richardson's a great athlete. I don't think he's ready.
Yeah.
Now, going to Sunday Night Football against the Vikings, a team that just lost 2 games in a row to pocket passers, you know, they're like, we're not going to name him starter. We're still thinking over things. If I'm the coach, Fizz, I understand that, like, we need to figure out who this guy is. And that's the theory. I put the tweet out there and I said, you know, what are the Colts going to do? If I'm the Colts, I'm not saying anything until Sunday and I'm playing Joe Flacco. That's pretty easy. And there's Colts fans out here. You can't play Joe Flacco when Richardson's healthy, even though the Richardson stuff is the Richardson stuff. The Colts are 4-4 right now.
Yeah, man.
They're 4-4, And what does Chris Ballard know? Chris Ballard knows his job is on the line. If this season goes 6-11, he's gone.
Yeah.
If they somehow get to the playoffs at 9-8, 10-7, his job is safe.
He's safe, yep.
And if he can do that with Flacco, while also keeping Richardson on the bench and then going through another offseason with Richardson, and you can keep that job. That's how this works. This is about keeping your job. This is about a business. This isn't about we need to figure out if Richardson's the answer today because the guy hasn't even played 10 career games. He's been hurt. He's been inefficient. Maybe he doesn't understand the offense. Like there's a lot of things that go into this that people on the outside have no clue. So I'm sorry that was a long-winded conversation about the Vikings there, but I would love to hear your thoughts on all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on this coach thing because, man, at the end of the day, you're trying to secure your job. I know as fans, sometimes we want the teams to tank and lose and this and that, but no coaches in that locker room like, yeah, we want to try to figure it out. Like if Joe Flacco is the pocket passer, like schematically, like you just said, pocket passes 2-0 against this team in the last 2 weeks, and you know what Joe Flacco can do on the field in the pocket. And I look at it this way. This division, bro, is winnable by anybody. Like even the Jaguars with this bad team, that bad record that they have, if they went on a winning streak right now, they could possibly compete and win this division because the Texans aren't really in shape. They losing receiver after receiver after receiver. The Colts are bleeding right now at this point, and the Titans are the Titans, man. So this division is winnable by anyone right now. So if I'm the Colts and I beat Minnesota, that's pretty much a stamp. Like we still here, we still can compete, and we possibly can win this division. And if Joe Flacco is starting, we seen the numbers, man. You can compare the numbers from just the scoreboard, not even this statistically. The scoreboard alone changes when Joe Flacco was in the game. So I'm with you, man. I mean, I hate to see it because I want to see A. Rich really take off, but in this league, Cody, we see these guys get drafted number 1, number 2, number 3 overall and get replaced in 2-3 years at that same position in the draft. So if A. Rich doesn't work out, man, you got to roll the dice again, man. Unfortunately, they don't let these dudes sit down and learn. And, you know, that's probably what should have happened in the first place, right? He shouldn't have been playing his first year so early, but that's the game we in. And Joe Flacco is here to win, man. So I'm with you on Joe Flacco. And the Minnesota Vikings, man, I still love them as a top 3 team in the NFC for sure. They just got to get another window. They lose to the Colts. It's time to really sit down and see what's going on in Minnesota. But I know that Rams game,
Colts.
That Rams game was tough, though, bro. I mean, you called it. A lot of people seen it coming, but I feel like if the Rams are healthy like they are, they can beat a team like Minnesota. Like coming into the game, we didn't know how healthy they were. So, you know, to see them lose to the Rams and the Lions, it's not like they lost to the Jets. And, you know what I'm saying? They didn't lose to teams that aren't winning games. So, record-wise, the Rams isn't the best. But we know when they're healthy, bro, they can be winning this division and possibly this conference. So, that wasn't a surprising loss, but I still wanted to see them, you know, complete. And they did. So, overall, man, the Rams and the Vikings game was a hell of a game. And it seemed like Thursday night, man, that Thursday night is better than Sunday night and Monday nights, it seems. So hopefully Minnesota and the Colts can help us out Sunday, bro. So I guess next, man, this Packers game, I'm gonna let you go to your favorite team on the other end. You know, not much to talk about on the Jaguars side, I guess, but this Packers game, man, your boy Jordan Love went down again. He wasn't very efficient before he even went down, really, man. Seemed like Malik Willis is really stepping up, and when they call his number, they putting him in the game, and he's securing a win when they need him to. But Jordan Love, another injury. They said it was something light. He's day-to-day, week-to-week, so he shouldn't miss any long-time games. But I know Romeo Dobbs, man. This guy named Romeo Dobbs. That was your guy coming into the season. You know, it's receiver 1. And to me, I said when all the receivers are healthy, I feel like Dobbs is the one. I believe Jayden is the more productive big play guy. You know, he can get you 5 catches, 180 yards. But Romeo, to me, is the target, the consistent, you my guy, wait for the other guys to get open type of player. So what's your take, man, on this game overall, but your Green Bay Packers and going forward, how we think they're going to look in this division?
Man, is it? Can we give Malik Willis some a couple flowers or something? Can we give him
Yeah. Hey,
like a
look.
petal? We don't gotta give him a full rose or anything, but can we give him a petal?
Hey, Cody, I was drafting him in the summer when he was the QB3 in Tennessee, bro. I told EV, man, I want to see my boy get some love under a real coach, a real system, and now he got it, man. So, hey,
You're
I'm
seeing
with you.
him like this is the art of a true backup, as a guy that could just come in and just do the thing. He did it against the Colts, 85% completion percentage, 68% against Tennessee in the start, and then he just comes in 4 for 5 touchdown and just keeps them flowing. And I think a lot of people, when he came in the game, they were like, "Oh, Jags got a chance. Jags got a chance. Jags got up 27-20, and then marching right back down, kick the field goal, win the game."
Yep.
Um, he's good. He ain't great. He good. And this is potentially something and a potential angle that we could potentially see a guy named Anthony Richardson take. I know the draft capital is a little bit different for both these guys, but um, the maturation of their abilities in the passing game kind of were on the same path. Richardson had a stronger arm, but they were both equally as erratic, both
Yeah.
well known for their rushing ability. Um, I'm not saying that Richardson needs to disappear for a year behind somebody in, like in Indianapolis and then pop up somewhere else, but he definitely needs some time to sit. We just talked about that for a minute. So anyway, Green Bay Packers, I think they continue to look like one of the best rosters in football, and being one of the best rosters in football is having a good backup quarterback that can come in and win a game like this against a bad football team that is scrounging and trying to get a win here and there. Tucker Kraft did his thing again. The running game got going again. Josh Jacobs
Yeah.
continues to
Yeah.
prove one of the most underrated running backs in all of the league. And like you said, like it doesn't matter who it is. Like there's opportunities that go around to all these guys. Usually one guy gets cucked every single week. This week it was Dontavian Wicks. Last week he got
Mm-hmm.
his. This is a good Packers team. They've won 4 in a row now. I think they have the Lions coming up this week. You could have made an argument that they should have, could have, would have had a chance to beat Minnesota back then, and then
I was just about to say they won the second half of that game. That's for sure.
yeah. So they've been pretty damn hot all year, and now they get the Lions. This is a big matchup here to kind of look at the hierarchy of the NFC North, because as you look at it today, after the Vikings lose to the Lions last week, the Lions are 6-1 after their big blowout that we don't even have to talk about this week. There's a complete dismantleization of the Titans. Green Bay 6-2, Vikings 5-2. Chicago drops a game to Washington. If Green Bay can get a win against Detroit, puts them at 7-2. Detroit at 6-2, going into a bye, puts Green Bay in a good spot. Detroit's obviously going to be up there the rest of the year. Who knows what happens with Minnesota on Sunday Night Football? It kind of creates a little bit of a separation here in what I don't even know if it's an argument, the best division in football right now.
Well, definitely the best division, but I like what South Sco said, and I actually was going to bring that up. It was going to be my point when we spoke on Malik Willis. I feel like I don't want to see Malik Willis lead his team and go to a Oakland Raiders. I don't think he would succeed in a situation like that. He got to go to a OC, a guy has a real system in place that can make him look good or better than what he is. So that was a good point. That was a point I was definitely going to bring up, because I feel like Sam Darnold is where he's supposed to be. Malik Willis is where he's supposed to be. If we send Sam Darnold and Malik Willis to the Cleveland Browns right now, not sure how much that'll work out. So yeah, a lot of this goes to coaching and OCs, man. I always speak on that. So yeah, I would love to see Malik stay in Green Bay. I'm not sure if he's a future starter in this league ever again, but he's in the right position where he need to be, man. And if Jordan Love continues to keep taking these nicks and getting bruises and bumped up, man, Malik can carry the ship, man, till he get back. So I like what he got going on in Green Bay. And Jacksonville side, I think Tank Bigsby is the talk. Christian Kirk went down for the season, collarbone. BTJ, they said it was a 2 to 4 week injury, and then the following thing was he's week to week, day to day. So I don't know if they meant they're going to get a win in 2 to 4 weeks, or he's hurt in 2 to 4 weeks. I have no idea, man, what the Jaguars got going on. But yeah, man, it's not really much to talk about other than this team is definitely a top 3 pick in 2025 to me. And hopefully they get the next person and the next coach to fix this team, man, because they sent out a lot of money this year. And They got the talent, man. I'm not sure what's going on, Cody. What you think?
Do you, as a Cowboy, who do you want? Who is your like choice of coach right now? Because like me, it's like it easily feels like it should be like Belichick or something. But you've talked about like younger guys. Like, is there a younger?
Well, I like that Brian Flores that you brought up. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, but honestly, man, I think a coach like Doug Peterson will fit in Dallas too, though, man. I know he's not winning in Jacksonville, but I like Doug, man. I think Doug is a player's coach. Um, I don't know, Cody. I don't know, man. I know you said Belichick, and I think Belichick will come in there and yank some shoulder pads up, and but we got to remember, Belichick did take 1 year off too, and I think sometimes when coaches do that, they really get to sit back and understand how the game is played now versus them. When you do something for so long, Cody, and then you think it's only one way, and then you retire for a year, and you sit back and look and say, "Damn, maybe I should have did it this way because I never took a break and my mind never changed." So now, taking a year off, Belichick might really be the answer because now he can really see what he didn't take a break from when he was in the game for so long. So Belichick might be the answer, bro.
Somebody needs to go the angle of bringing in Belichick and giving him like a 3-year deal and saying, "All right, dude, turn this thing around, get us going, and hire your predecessor as your coordinator, and like pay him."
There we go. There we
enough,
go. I like that.
Give him plenty of dough. Like you're making the highest paid coach in the NFL. Give him, I don't know what that is, 12 to 14 million a year, and say, you know what, you're going to coach for 3 years. We'll let you ride off into the sunset. We'll give you one more opportunity to run this thing. Hopefully, go somewhere with a quarterback, and then they just bring in a predecessor. And I feel like the Cowboys is the best situation to where Jerry is like, all right, the team is pretty much built, but we can shake things up with Belichick, and then you can also bring somebody else in so that Jerry can leave something for his kids too. And I feel like those things just make too much sense like this.
Nah,
But also,
right.
I might throw some, as Matty Cuban says, shillings. I might throw some shillings
Go ahead.
on Deion Sanders because who wouldn't want to see Dak get canned out of Dallas, lands in the private jet with Shadur before the draft even happens, and Cowboys trade up and get Shadur, be done with it.
Cody, man, you trying to get us some likes and views and comments up in here, man. What you got going on, man? Me personally, I don't think Deion would want to work for Jerry, man. I think Deion is him and Jerry would. I mean, Jerry love him though, but I don't know, man. That's a wild take right there, bro. But I know. I know. I know. I mean, and I do say, Pops, the young coach thing, but I just don't know under Jerry if that'll happen. I just think Jerry wants an older guy who he can relate to, who he can, have those conversations with. About Jerry's stuck back in the day, man. He's not up to par with what's going on. And I think, I always say younger coaches and younger systems for the game. But for my team, I just don't think Jerry is going to do it. And, really listen to a guy that's 28 years old and him tell him how to control the team. I just don't see that happening. Not necessarily 28, but a younger guy in a sense. But yeah, man. I mean, overall though, bro, I think like I said, with this team, the Jaguars, they pretty much is a lost franchise right now. And at some point, the bleeding gotta stop. We just don't know when. So we're gonna move on from those guys. And man, it's so many games, man. I don't want to touch on all of them, but I'm gonna highlight some of the good takes. I guess Tua came back, his first game back. Give me what your takes was on Tua, his first game back. And Kyler finally stepping up, putting up 300 plus yards for the first time, I think, all season. Maybe Marv looked good. Dolphins didn't get the win, but Tua didn't get hurt either, right? So I guess that was a plus.
Tua didn't get hurt, which is a plus. I guess I was the one thing I've been kind of waiting and wanting to see is to see how many of these weapons can be fed in a single game under Kyler in this Arizona offense. And Connor got there. I guess he got 13 PPR fantasy points because he scored the touchdown. So I guess it's not really a standard Connor game. He got the carries, he didn't average, but sub 3 yards per carry. But McBride got there in a great form. Harrison got there in great form. And even Michael Wilson paid off as your depth flex guy. So it was good to see the ball get pushed around. Kyler didn't run the ball that much. They kept him kind of contained, but he threw for 300 yards. I think Kyler's Cardinals are sitting there at 4-4, and they're very much just kind of like in the cut where I do think the Cardinals are in a spot where they could. I don't know. People are saying that they don't like Kyler. I like Kyler.
Yeah.
I think he's playing good football right now. I really think he's bounced back to OG Kyler, and he's running around, he's making plays, he's getting the football to places it needs to be. He's starting to unlock Marv. Everybody knows what McBride is. If they can get this running game kind of circled back in, this team's going to be good. And look at this division: 4-4, 4-4, 4-4, 3-4. Like this is if there was ever an opportunity, the opportunity was now. And of these 4 teams, they probably got the worst defense. I think that's pretty straightforward. It's probably the worst defense, but do they have the most potent offense of the 4? You could argue.
Yeah.
I would say he's the most athletic quarterback, the most potent quarterback in the division. You got Marvin McBride to compare that to everybody else in the division. San Francisco's completely banged up right now. If McCaffrey gets back, okay, I lose that conversation probably in pure talent. But explosiveness and what I don't want to say like dual ability or duality, but the idea of having a good running back with a tight end, with a receiver, with a slot guy, with a flanker, like all these different things that I think mesh well into the offense, plus a rushing quarterback. I think the Cardinals are built pretty well to push this thing down the train tracks and see what happens. On the Dolphins side, you brought up Tua. Not that impressed. I guess I think our expectations were just a touch high in the first game.
They were.
They were. Clapped off the concrete floor. The one interesting thing I'll say from this game was Devon Achane had a Guardian cap on, period.
That's it. You could.
Where's yours, Tua?
Yeah. You're right.
They look dumb as hell. Don't get me wrong. They look dumb as hell. But it's not a great look when everybody knows you're like 1 or 2 hits away from potentially seizing on a field or going into a coma, and your running back that's 23 years old is wearing a Guardian cap, but you're not. You don't look good. You're scared to get teased. Like, what's the deal here? Like,
I think honestly, he should just play it at least this year. Just wear it, or game 1. That would have been a game. Just the first game back. Just wear it. Game 2, because now they play Buffalo next week, and we know he didn't already suffered one of the biggest head injuries he suffered against Buffalo. So I'm with you, man. He definitely should have been the representation of let's wear this Guardian cap. I would even ask some of the other guys, hey, man, let's do it in solidity. Like, let everybody know that we're going to wear it, and half the offense could have probably wore it with him, and just kind of, we're going to hold it down for Tua type of thing. So, I'm with you on that. I thought we thought a lot more of this offense, and they were going to really go out there and get the strike in. Hopefully that was just a Tua just getting back from being all 4 games and kind of rusty thing. But I'm with you on Kyler too, man. This division, if you took away the logos and the colors and you just put each roster down on a piece of paper, you could literally say that this is one of the best ones in that division. Like, just looking at them side by side. So this is probably the most wide open division in the NFC for sure. And Seattle just seems to not want to win it by all means. So, yeah, man, the Cardinals. I think what you said about Kyler and people not liking him or not really trusting him, and then he goes off and had games like this. I just think he just got to give us 2 or 3 of these games. That's his problem. Like, he'd give us this game, and then next week put up 12 points and have 130 yards passing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest thing about Kyler. He seemed to show up though against big teams. Well, teams with big offenses, and when he needs to put up those points, he puts them up. So hopefully we get more of this, Kyler. And move along a little quickly, man. I'm gonna let you speak on the Jets and them being trash and them losing and looking like New York sliced pizza on the field this weekend. Devonta Adams, which we already said wasn't going to save this team. This team is done. They overcooked. No matter how many games they win, they won't be successful in this season, man. I just think next year is a fresh start, maybe. But this year right here is too much controversy. I said it last night. I think Aaron Rodgers is like the Odell Beckham of this team, meaning They meaning they're going to get more press and media and flashes than they will production. And I don't think he's really going to be who they thought he was at this age and at this time. So I probably hit a little low with the Odell thing, but I'm just saying the hype on Odell going certain places, man, was way overhyped versus the production we got a lot of times. And him being in New York with the cameras and the big lights, we're not seeing anything, bro. So what's your take on the Jets, man? And how they crumbling right now?
Second longest losing streak in the NFL right now, behind the Panthers and the Saints. Of course, the Saints started out the season pretty hot, 2-0. 2-6, number 4 overall pick in the NFL draft in 2025. They are kind of at that point. They need to figure out, they need to either shit or get off the pot. Actually shit or get off the pot, because Houston now coming to town on Thursday night. Short week for a team that's, kind of reeling at this point off of these, blowout loss to the Steelers, close losses to the Patriots and the Bills. And they had a chance against Minnesota. They've had chances in these games against the Broncos. They've had chances all over.
Yeah.
And generally in those games with chances, Rodgers is able to pull one out of the hat. And this team can't pull one out of the hat. So how am I supposed to expect they're going to do that against Houston, let alone Arizona, in Arizona? Who knows what happens with that Colts game? You have no idea. Like we talked about the Colts a minute ago, and you go into a bye. The schedule's not that great. Like, this is kind of like a 6-7 win team, probably. They literally have to not win out, but they can't really hiccup, but maybe once or twice, maybe. If they're going to go ahead and do this thing. I'm just not sure they're good enough to do it. Like you kind of said, they're getting a lot of press right now because of Rodgers and now Adams, but that shit's going to wear off here in the next 2 weeks. I mean, Halloween's here this week. Everybody knows Bill Belichick's take on Halloween. When Halloween comes, you got to be playing your best football. The Jets are playing their worst football right now. And if this happens for 2 more weeks and they go into a bye in the city of New York at 2-9, being the worst team in New York, potentially, if the Giants
crazy, man.
That could spell a hellacious winter for all those guys. And who knows what happens with Rodgers if he just, fakes an injury and all of a sudden dude's just not playing, calls for get me out of here, blah, blah, blah. You never know what retire in the midseason. Who knows? Who knows?
Imagine coming into the season, Cody, and thinking that these guys will be worse than the Giants. Like, just imagine sharing that locker room on the other side of the stadium, same stadium, and you are the worst team in that city right now. That's crazy.
Dude, who have you enjoyed watching more this year? The Jets,
to be honest,
the Giants.
I'm gonna say the Giants, but I'm gonna say this. I think the reason why I enjoy the Giants more is because I expected more from the Jets. So since anything the Giants do that looks good, you enjoy it because you didn't expect them to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably the reasoning, is because we expected the Jets to go out there and look good, and they haven't. The Giants, if they go out there and put up 21 points, you like, damn, I didn't expect them to score this. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm going to say the Giants at the end of the day, because, man, the Jets are just trash, man. I just, it's a bad situation, man. This defense that they got, we thought it was top 10, top 5. We thought Aaron Rodgers could build on that, and little do we know, Zach Wilson had his team looking better when he was in town. So I don't know, man. We need the MILF Hunter back, man. Aaron Rodgers got it rolled, man. I don't know. But move along, man. We're gonna touch on these Browns and these Ravens, bro. The number one team in my eyes, the Ravens went down. And I said it last week. I said it in the middle of this game. The Ravens are going to make this a game because this is what they do, bro. They're going to play a team that they should beat the brakes off of, and they're going to make it a game. Now, they could have won this game. They should have lost because they shouldn't have had it this close anyway. But the Ravens do this every time, bro. They will play the Chiefs next week and beat them, and then come right back and lose to the Oakland Raiders again, or Vegas Raiders again. That's just what they do, man. So I'm not sure what was going on in Baltimore, but, I guess if you want to touch on them, we can. But I'm going to speak on the Browns, man. And good old Jameis, famous Jameis, the famous one, the Jameis one, my dog, FSU, man. I've been telling people all summer, you better get you some Jameis, man, because when he get his job back, he going to be on the field. And for some reason, Cody, it seemed like this team didn't want him to have a job. Remember, they kept saying, DTR was the next one up, and he was the guy, and then he ended up getting hurt, and now all of a sudden Jameis is the starter. Of course, he should have been the starter at some point anyway, but I'm not sure what's going on, man. Why did people don't trust Jameis? And it's only one game. I'm not saying he's gonna go out there and finish out the rest of the season with this future O line they have. But hey, man, Charles Tillman look good, man. No Amari Cooper, Njoku. I'm pretty sure every receiver, tight end on that in them locker rooms is saying, "Hey, Jameis, you eat what you eating this day? I'm sending you DoorDash. You ain't eat. You're not paying for no food all week, bro. You know what I'm saying? If my quarterback came in and got my numbers like that, I'm buying them whatever you want the rest of the week, man. So shout out to my dog Jameis, man. I had to give him his flowers while I could, though, Cody. So what's your take on this good old Cleveland Browns now and coming up for the rest of the season?
Wasn't it cool just to like watch Jameis just rip this thing 40 times, and like Cedric Tillman looked better than Amari Cooper's looked in multiple years.
Yeah.
Elijah Moore getting his due targets. I mean, we've been waiting for Elijah Moore to get this type of opportunity, 12 targets in a game for 3 years. When we knew this was possible for him to do. Judy got 8 targets, caught 5 of them. Holy shit. He caught 5 of the 8 targets, which is like, world-class difference than what it was. And then Njoku just doing, I mean, that mossing Njoku had in the end zone was spectacular.
That's what he do, man.
What you expect from him. Stat for the Jameis crowd and the Deshaun Watson crowd: 334 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Jameis Winston, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Deshaun Watson has done that one single time while he's been in Cleveland. That came in his, was it 5th game? 5th game against the Washington Commanders. He had 3 touchdowns, no picks. He also threw for 50% in that game, 9 for 18, only 169 yards. A horrible game on its face. Got sacked 5 times in that game. 300 yards in a game never happened under Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Never once. Not a single time, Fizz, did that happen. He hasn't had a 300-yard game since 2021. Actually, technically 2020. It was the 3rd of January in 2021, technically 2020 season. So that was in Houston, of course, in his last game with the Houston Texans, 3 touchdowns and a pick, 365 yards. This is entirely different. This Browns team, we knew this. Everybody has been asking for Jameis for how, 6 weeks now?
But this the crazy part, though. We was asking for Jameis, and they still didn't want. They still named him the number 3 quarterback. That was my thing. Like, what are you doing with DTR out there saying that? Now, from what I heard, they said was he fit the script of the game. That's why they had him as the number 2. But I don't think they would have put Jameis. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. That doesn't make any sense.
That's such garbage.
You would have lost that game if Jameis didn't come in, the week before that. So I'm glad Jameis got the start. He knew he was starting. He came into the game as a starter. But I really think, honestly, I'm not trying to help Deshaun Watson whatsoever, bro. But I don't think this team wants to throw as many times as they did with Jameis. They just know what Jameis can do with that many.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they want to be a run game team, defense, kind of play slow a little bit. But Jameis, being who he is, man, trigger happy. Because some of those passes, I don't know why they didn't get intercepted. He threw some ducks out there, man. That got goose. Yeah, he threw some ducks that got goose, man. I'm gonna give him that. But he came out scot free, and okay, my boy South Scoot up here, man. He talking. Yeah,
he finally said something worth a damn in the chat, and I think he hit a spot on right here.
Nah, for sure. Like Chubb getting his feet back, Ford being injured. They pretty much revving up the engine, I guess, for when it get cold outside and the run game can pick up. But right now, bro, while the sun is out, it's football weather. Throw the damn ball, man. And Jameis can throw the ball. So I like what I saw. Hopefully, my boy, is waking the league back up that he can be back in this league, man, as a starter. But we're gonna try to keep moving along, man. And I'm looking right now, Cody. I guess the Lions, we could just say they good, right? Are they good?
Next.
Okay, they good. I just want to make sure that they was good. The 52 points, 14. I want to make sure you consider them a good team. Man.
That's the best team in football right now, dog.
Okay, all right. There we go. let's touch on these Falcons and Bucks, man, because the Falcons almost choked this game out, man, to a team that doesn't have any starting receivers. Baker Mayfield, being Baker Mayfield, stepped up and looked like he won a win, man. And Kirk got off scot-free, but it was a close game for a division that, is pretty much at grabs too. If the Bucks would have won this game. So just sprinkle a little bit of that seasoning on this Falcons and Bucks game right quick, bro.
It's crazy to see all these weapons in Atlanta getting work week after week after week. Isn't it? It's a little like surreal. You're like, man, like I'm looking at I got this one roster, right? I got this one fantasy team at 6-2 right now, and I won this week.
Mm-hmm.
I have Bijan, I have Drake London, and I have Mooney on the same team. I did it in a draft, and I was like, as soon as I made the London pick, I picked Bijan obviously early. I picked Bijan at the 101, if I'm being quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took London later, and I realized I was like, oh no, I got London and Bijan. I don't want to do that. I've started them every game. My team's 6-2. I'm sitting in a good spot. I also got Mooney. I'm like, man, should I play Mooney over Dobbs? I got Mooney and Neighbors. Like, the team's nice. But it's like the fact that Mooney and Robinson and London are eating on a weekly basis, and Pitts.
Hey, I was just about to say, I got the same scenario, except I don't have Mooney. I got Pitts. So I'm with you. I got Bijan, London, and Pitts.
It's pretty sick. And like, we know Kirk is good enough to do this in the regular season. He's, a little bit of a choke artist in primetime in the playoffs. I've known that my whole life. While dealing with that situation, but like, he's going to win games like this, or he's going to be competent in games like this. So from a fantasy perspective, it's going to be dialed. I'm just continuing to be impressed by our guy Baker, though. Baker is just,
man,
it don't matter. He's just ripping the football. He's got Raheem Jarrett, Sterling Shepard, Jalen McMillan's receiver in this league, like Trey Palmer, who I love, but he's not really a top 3 wide receiver on a roster. He just isn't. And he's just dicing people up, just ripping the football, doesn't care. It's like old school Oklahoma Baker.
Yep.
Cade Otton is a top 5 tight end rest of season. If Evans is going to continue to be out, it's just what it is, because Baker's output is high enough. I'm impressed with both football teams right now.
No, I'm with you, man. But I'm more so impressed with what Baker's doing with less, and it's looking like I said, man. Again, I've always been a Baker critic, especially in fantasy. I got a guy, my dog, he's always been riding with Baker, but I think he rode with him the wrong year. So I think this is the time, brother, that you should have been on that Baker bandwagon, because I'm slowly but surely jumping on, man. That dude right there, man. He's a football player, like. He just looked like one of them dudes you wake up on Sunday and whatever he say, you just believe him if you're in that locker room, because he looked like he gonna stand on what he means. So shout out to Baker, man. And moving along, I guess we can go to this game, man. I'm sure everybody that's watching me that's from my city, man, wants to talk about it, bro. So the Commanders and the Bears. Go ahead, give me your spiel though, Cody, and I'll touch on it when you're done. But what was your biggest takes from the game on both sides? And yeah, man. J-Day all the way, I guess, man. What you think about this game, bro?
Swift certifying himself in this conversation of, we've talked about him the last, I don't know what, maybe 4 weeks now. Now we come out of the bye and we're like, all right, are they going to try to implement some more Roschon Johnson? Are we going to see, maybe some cooler? What are we going to see? And it's just right back to Swift. Swift looks good. Nothing in the receiving game, but he looks 7.2 yards per carry in the rushing game. This is a guy who the first 6 weeks of the season was averaging less than 4 yards per carry. He was one of the 3 worst running backs on average in football, next to Najee and Kyron Williams. Like, he just was. He couldn't see holes. He couldn't do anything. And now he's just gaping, folks. Swift looks
came
good.
late too, though. It came late. Early, he wasn't that productive, but that second half is when he really took off, though. I think it was because they wanted to try to keep the game close and try to, slow the clock down and win the game, because they weren't productive at all, really, on the offense. But that second half is when it was Swift time. He clocked in for work and got to work. So
when they scored, when the Commanders had 3 straight field goals, we had the Bears, I think I said this already, +2 in the Circa Millions contest. When it was field goal, I knew this was going to come down to the end. I obviously didn't know to come down like it did, but I was like, all right, they're keeping it. The defense is playing good enough on both sides. I do think that the Caleb is going to be able to get something going, get them downfield. Thought the offensive lineman fullback dive was one of the most idiotic plays of all time.
They should have lost that game after that.
His name's blanking me now, but the guy that was playing, he was on the offensive line. He got folded backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like those are some of the scariest shits right there when you see those offensive linemen fold
never
straight
called that
backwards
stupid
like that.
play, man.
they ain't supposed to go that way. But I think one of the bigger things, and people will say, well, it was a fluke, it was a Hail Mary. How many times have we seen Aaron Rodgers complete these Hail Marys? Like, it's not a fluke because the Bears allowed the Commanders to complete a 20-yard out route to make this an attainable throw.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears situationally weren't ready. They situationally were like, well, they're 80 yards away. Let's go ahead and just everyone drop back and allow them to, in 3 seconds pick up 15 yards. Like that's just game management. That's just knowledge of football. So they kind of peed down their leg that way, and then they allowed Jayden to rip that football 70 yards in the air, and the rest is history. And you can't really call it a fluke. I think it's one of those things where you have to look at it as this doesn't happen to organizations that suck. This doesn't happen to organizations that are going the wrong direction. This doesn't happen to the 2020 Commanders. This doesn't happen to your folks as Commanders. This happens to a team with a guy like Jayden Daniels, who's it. He's it.
Hey, Cole, listen. Sometimes, bro,
this is what winning is about. It's about finding ways to win, getting the job done, and that's what Jayden is.
When you got the juice, you got the juice, bro. And the one thing I know about Jayden Daniels, he got the juice. And honestly, it ain't but like 5 quarterbacks in this league that could have made that play. Whether you call it luck, you call it whatever you want. The football guys are only going to make that happen for about 5 quarterbacks in this league. And Jayden Daniels is one of them, man. And when you walking around with the swagger that he got, the confidence that he have, a lot of times confidence, man, comes in crazy places, man. And he got enough confidence that he could have threw that ball backwards with his eyes closed, like he was shooting a hook shot from. It would have fell in the end zone, man. It would have happened. Like, honestly, I believe when you got it, man. Right now, the Commanders got it. So when he made that play, I ain't gonna say it didn't surprise me, but it was like, that's what was supposed to happen. Like, it was just one of them situations, bro, that it happened how it was supposed to happen.
What did you think and I love Tony Romo. He's pretty good in 95% of situations. And he's like, hey, man, they're going to do this 15-yard out route. This is what's going to happen. And then as soon as that happened, he tries to make another call. And I don't know if a lot of people picked up on this now, but he was literally like, man, I think they should bring in Marcus Mariota for this deep ball. I think Mariota's got a stronger arm right now. Jayden might not be able to get the ball there with his rib. I think they should bring in Mariota. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that. I missed that one.
He said that in a live broadcast, and I was thinking to myself, what the fuck are you talking about?
He been throwing.
He got a fucking stronger arm than Marcus Mariota.
I was about to say he been throwing dash to Terry all night. I don't know why he thought that.
I just thought that was kind of funny, and I just like when you think of the moment now, and you're like, that thing was completed because Jayden was able to evade, make room, launch it, be Jayden, and like the idea of being like, man, what if that was Mariota? Yeah, that probably doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't at all. And I got you, E, on the ref calling, but let's just be honest, bro. I hear a lot of people saying about the holding thing. Don't nobody call holding on that play, man. They just let the players play right there, bro. It was definitely holding. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but a lot of times this is no seconds left on the clock. Unless you blatantly bear hug a guy, man, the refs gonna let it happen. Because honestly, the refs probably thinking, look, this is the last play. We trying to get out of here and not make no mistakes and cause no more issues anyway. So the refs just let them play right there, man. And it was a holding. I'm not knocking that at all, but I feel like that was a play. The refs, you gotta let it go, man. Because if they would have called holding, I would have been like, come on. And then let's just say they called holding and that play happened. And you see the yellow flag, Cody, that would have been in more the news on the refs calling that than them not calling it. They would have been scrutinized for messing up a great game and a good ending for the rest of this season. So I don't knock the refs for letting that play happen, man. But I will say, though, Cody, and now that we're talking about them, we might as well just continue into the conversation. This Commanders team is legit. We knew that. But like I tell people all the time, bro, you feed into your atmosphere. You feed into your locker room, your players, your coach, and you look at that sideline, you look at the coach, you look at the city. I live here. I'm telling you, Cody, these people are going crazy, bro. They think that they won a Super Bowl, and no matter if they win it or not, they got their quarterback. They got their guy who they believed in, they love, they seem to have all the juice. I hate speaking to these people, bro, because they're delusional at times. But I will say, when you looking like this and you got a quarterback like this, and you got that vibe of this team, bro, it's only going to go up. And one thing about this new ownership, whatever they created, they're never going to not sell out tickets. Like those tickets prices are going up, the merch going up. The vibe here is real, man. And I know we talk about rookie of the year for Jayden, man, but we got to do some MVP talk, man. I know they don't give rookies the MVP, and that's like a thing. I get it. And it seemed like in the NBA and NFL. But the MVP right now to me, man, is Jayden Daniels because of what he has around him, what the expectations were for this team, and what he's doing with this team. And as much as I love Lamar, and Lamar was always my MVP, and he still is my guy, I think Jayden bumped him this week because to me, man, Jayden right now, bro, is doing more with less. And he got literally a whole city, locker room team, media, us, the people on TV and the internet talking about him all day 24/7. And he a real humble dude, bro. So I think the MVP of the NFL right now is Jayden Daniels. I'm sure my people going to text me later, clip this, show everybody. That's cool, man. But right now, that's the dog of the league, man. So MVP J Day, man. That's how I'm feeling, Cody.
Everybody knows Jim Brown's the only rookie to ever win it 70 freaking years ago.
Yep.
And a dominant running back. There was also a running back, a different age. Yeah, the MVP odds right now, he's fifth. I don't think it's bad money. Patrick Mahomes leads the league, and he tied for lead league in interceptions. His name shouldn't even be on there at this point. I understand how important he is to that team and stuff, but he hasn't fulfilled the new age view of the MVP award, in my opinion. And what they've drawn that MVP award around has been how Patrick has played in previous seasons, but definitely not how he's playing this season. So I think that axes him out. Josh Allen allowing this team to be where it's at, this Buffalo team, to be 6-2, I think is impressive. They've had some big wins against not great teams for the majority of the season. They've lost to their two toughest opponents, Ravens and Texans. I'm not quite there on Josh Allen being the favorite for MVP. And then you have Jared Goff. And Jared Goff's a tough hurdle to jump. This team looks fantastic in Detroit.
Yeah.
If I had a vote today, midseason award, right? We're week 8 going into week 9.
Okay.
My midseason award, it would be so tough for me to sit here, and I would have to split hairs, and I would have to dig and research and dig and explain reasoning for myself between Goff and Jayden Daniels. I do think it's razor sharp between these two guys. I know Lamar's on that list as well.
Yeah.
Lamar's been playing really good.
Hey, Cody, I'm a little salty, man. I wish I would have thought about that, man. Next week, man, we might gotta do some mid-season rewards for these mid-season awards for these these trophies they give out. So I like that. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. We'll do them. I think that's a good idea. But I think that like the list up here, it's a good list. I think it just needs to be spoken about at this point. Daniels needs to be spoken about today.
Yeah, nobody's been bringing it up,
weeks,
right?
Because when you do get to that point at the end of the year, he needs to start building the resume. He's justified. All right, I'm here. We're 6-2. This Commanders team is different. Now it's about stacking big wins, making splash plays, and dominating. And that's how you get that name. That's how you get past the Patrick Mahomes. Is that's finally in his career overrated as far as MVP odds go.
I think his biggest fault is his schedule, and people saying he haven't beaten any winning teams yet or no big name teams. He lost to the Bucks early, and so far, your schedule has been pretty sweet. So it is what it is with the competition of who they've played. But me personally, man, I mean, that was my guy coming into the draft, and I'm really saying that I'm looking at this team, and he's playing like Jared Goff has literally the best roster in the league, you could say, right? I mean, I know we said the Packers is there, but you're talking about two running backs that can go for 100 yards in a tutty every week. You got St. Brown, who's a top 6-7 receiver in the game. JMO, whenever he's not suspended, can go off 100 plus. Sam Laporta, we know what he can do. One of the best O-lines. I mean, Goff has so much around him that it kind of takes away his ability, because the average person might say, well, you could throw Kyler Murray in there or Sam Donald there, and they'll do the same. But if you put a lot of these quarterbacks, you put Jared Goff in Washington right now, I don't think we're going to be 6-2, Cody. You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest thing with me putting Jayden over Goff, is because he's doing so much with less, bro. Noah Brown just signed with them, and he caught this pass, and the vibe is different, Cody. That's all I'm saying, man. Any of those voters come here to DC, just walk down the street. You might put your bid in for Jayden, man. That's all I'm saying. So, maybe we can be the ones to start that talk, man. So Jayden for MVP for me. I'm loving what I'm seeing, man. And to move along in the last game, we're gonna touch on, bro. I mean, we spoke on the Cowboys and the 49ers, but I don't know. It's 4 games left, Cody. Give me not a couple games, but give me your last game you want to speak on before we move on to the next topic, bro. Bills, Seattle, Chiefs, Raiders, Cowboys, 49ers. Anything else you want to speak on these teams? Or
I want to know. I want to know what this Charger team is, because the Saints are bona fide shit at this point. But this Charger team, like, Herbert threw the ball 32 times. He had 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Played a very good game. They have not been running the football as effective as they have when Gus Edwards was in earlier this season. When you look at what the Chargers have done, they came out of bye last week or 3 weeks ago. They got the 7-point win against the Broncos. They lost by 2 to the Cardinals, and then they had a kind of an easy walk with the Saints this week, as expected. They go to Cleveland this week, though. I think that's an interesting one, because if Jameis plays and the Browns play like they did, and Chubb continues to oil those wheels, and they can throw the football like they did, it'll be a tough game. And I think the Browns can pull that one out. I'm interested. Like, this Charger team is just like the first 2 weeks of the season. I don't want to say it was like the Saints, but the first 2 weeks of the season, like, we were like, oh, this Charger team is going to lean on some folks. And now we look back and it was like, well, that was the Raiders and the Panthers, and they just literally leaned on them and ran the football against them. Then they lost to the Steelers and Chiefs, and we don't know exactly what the Broncos are. We kind of feel the same way, I think, about the Broncos as the Chargers. I feel similar. I think the Chargers are probably in a little better spot for 2024 success than the Broncos. They lose to the Cardinals, who we just talked about we like, and then they dust the Saints. I don't really know what the Chargers are. I think a Browns game against Jameis could potentially show us a little more, but then they get the Titans and the Bengals.
Yeah. I mean, sound like
maybe we
sound like
a little bit.
They sound like an 8-win team.
Yeah.
Like they sound like a, pack of noodles, no seasoning, man. And you just cooked and nothing else in it, no flavor in it. You just look at this team and you say, oh, okay, yeah, they can pick 16 in the draft. That's what I look at. I don't really see them as no winning team. And when I look at the Chargers, bro, I'm not feared about what they can do to my team on the schedule. I think week to week is going to be like that for them.
I think you're right. The schedule, too, when you look at it at the end, they played the Panthers already, who picked number 1 overall. They played Tennessee in 2 weeks, who picked number 2 overall. They played the Patriots, second to last game of the year, who picked 3 overall. They don't have the Jets in the schedule.
But the crazy part is, Cody, they could lose to 2 of those teams, though, and I wouldn't be surprised. If the Titans beat them, and let's just say the Panthers gather a win against them, I'm not going to be surprised, bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that they're a fearful team. I think they're winning games. That Arizona game they lost, it was by 2 points, I believe. They could have won that game, and I still wouldn't have said that they were better than the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can beat a team right now, like the Bills, and I'm still not going to say that they're a good team. I'm going to just say the Bills had a bad game. You know what I'm saying? So, no knock on the Chargers, bro, but I just don't look at them as a team that I have any feelings towards. Like, if they win, they win. If they lose, okay, they lost. But I don't even think I'm checking for them or their schedule or what's going on around them. They just kind of a mid team to me without an identity. I think their identity is running the ball, but outside of just running the ball, what are they? I don't know, personally. So
that's fair.
I think I'm cool on the Chargers, man. But Anything else before we get out on week 8, man? Move on. We had a good week, man, and we're gonna touch on some tight ends after this. But just overall for the week, you good on that?
I'm good on week 8, bro. Let's put a bow on it.
All right, that's cool, man. Well, we're gonna show the Patreon some love, man. Get to these overcooked prices and overcooked scores. I got it, as many as I could from the people that sent them in. So you know how we get down, Cody. Let's see what we got for the peoples, man. All right, let's check it out, man. The Executives League. Oh, I think your boy posted this one, man. He smoked you one time, Cody. What's up with this, man?
59. That ain't a dog walking. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I know. He posted it, though, so I had to put it I had to put
Maddie.
it up.
You fish. Come on, what are we
Maddie,
doing?
you a wild boy for this one, though, man. I wasn't feeling that one at all, bro. Can't do my boy like that. What we got next, though? Okay, my boy, good old ATM in the building. Okay. All right, we ain't hit 100, but we was close to it, right? The hamburger sloth, them Krabby Patties ain't popping right now, Playboy. I don't know, man. Who we got next, Cody? Who we got next? Shout out ATM though, man. I see you, man. I see you, brother. Oh, ATM back again. Okay, he ain't cracking 100, but he doing his thing. He got CeeDee Lamb on his team. He 8-0, so I guess that brother know what he doing, man. So that's ATM right now. We looking for them 100 games so far. We don't have one. Be close. Let me see. Z Willett, 6-8. Okay, well, at least you're gonna beat 11-3 team. That's how you supposed to do it, bro. So I appreciate you beating those guys that think that they too good for the league, man. So shout out to Z Willett, man. Let me see. South Harmon Dynasty. Okay.
That's a dub, right there, man.
Now I will say I read in the chat that he said that even though Mike is rebuilding, so technically this is a win, but come on, man. You beat up on a team that don't want to win, bro. But we're going to give you your props anyway, Mr. Ultimate, Unlimited, Mr. Unlimited. And, shout out to you. And Cody, man, I had to do it, bro. I wasn't going to do it, but I had to get mine off, man. It wasn't the biggest, sexiest win, but your boy did his thing last night. You know what I'm saying?
Got that work in.
Your boy put that work in, man. I've been cooking this league, man. Hitting all the right buttons, and they seem to be hitting me back, bro. So, I did my thing, man. But shout out Mr. Unlimited for this massacre, even though Mike gave up anyway. All right.
Mike played the hottest waiver wire pickup last week, and he still lost.
Yeah, so shout out y'all boys, man, on this good old matchup, man. But yeah, man, that was the overcooked session, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in, and as always, man, you can post your scores, lineups, and all that good stuff in the Patreon. Join, sign up. We got different tiers, and not even just for that, just for the community as a whole, man. We always have a good time in our good old Patreon. So tap in with us, man. I think the link is in the bio. I said the bio. The link is down in the description. The link is in the description. South Harmon's patreon.com/South Harmon, I believe, something like that, something in that realm. So make sure you check it out, man. Stay tuned, stay tapped in with us all the time, bro. But right now, man, let's show the tight end some love, man. It was National Tight Ends Day. I got the stat line: 177 receptions, 16 touchdowns, all in a single day. It was the most for any tight end national tight end day, and as you said, it was the only year 5, so it wasn't probably hard to break a record, right? But they did it. So I guess we can go down the list, man, from not best to worst, but who had the best tight end game, and just kind of move down the line, man. Show a little bit of love to the guys that we hate to draft in our leagues, bro.
Dog, when you look at PPR coming into the week, average points scored. So week 1 through 7, there was 7 dudes averaging more than 10 points per game. Kittle, Bowers, Kmet, McBride, Goddard, Njoku, Kraft. That was it. Goddard didn't even play this week. Didn't even play. That was in PPR. So 7 dudes, right? Do you know how many dudes scored more than 10 points this week?
Well, I'm kind of cheating because I'm looking at a list, but I didn't look at this week. I looked at the seasonal, so I was wrong. I'm going to say
18.
I was going to say 12, so damn.
Sorry,
I was guessing at 12.
Sorry for jumping the gun on that. But 18 dudes scored more than 10 fantasy points in PPR. And we've barely, the number has been growing by the week on average guys jumping over that 10 marker. But for the first couple weeks of the season, it was 3 dudes were averaging 10 points. 4 dudes. Like that
Yeah.
had been tough. And then this week we get, some cocky, maybe Adam Troutman stuff. But where do you want to start with these guys? Because we got some good dudes building resumes at the tight end position right now.
Well, you already spoke on one, man, which is Cade Otton, bro. And with Mike Evans being out, no Godwin for the rest of the year, and 3 receivers around them who aren't really, they're not even probably receiver ones on any team in the league, let alone their own. So you got Cade Otton is pretty much the receiver one right now. And he had I think the biggest day of the week. He had 9 receptions, 81 yards, 2 tutties. And going against Atlanta, you would expect them to try to throw the ball a lot because that's what Atlanta's been doing lately. So Cade Otton, man, tight end 1 on the week, bro. And I see a lot of more top 5, 6-ish tight end performances because with Mike Evans and Godwin being out, man, he's the number 1 receiver. So Cade Otton, man, tight end 1 right now, week 8, man.
How impressive is that? I mean, this kid finally got an opportunity to really elevate into that number 1 role. This is his 4th week on the season being a top 10 finisher. It's impressive. I think it'll continue. I'm buying into the stock here on Cade Otton rest of season for sure as a top 3, top 4 play.
For sure. Tight end 2, Travis Kelce, man, he's back. I think Taylor Swift was on tour. I'm not sure, but our boy is back, man. Maybe he ate a bowl of that mystery cereal he got, man. I got a box of it. I still ain't tried it yet, but Travis Kelce, 10 receptions, 90 yards and a touchdown. He had 12 targets, and to me, he looked like Travis Kelce. Even though it was a game that they probably should have won with ease, I like that they fed him, and I mean they 8-0, bro, right? So it's not like you gotta overplay him anyway. And now it's time to start revving up the Kelce engine, and by the time the playoffs come, he should be in perfect form. So I don't mind the slow start at all. Fantasy wise, we all do, but in real life, man, the slow start for any Chief isn't bad because the 8-0, whether you was starting, he only had 79 snaps as well. So 79% of snaps. So again, he'll start being in the game more. But right now, man, keep doing what you're doing, Kelce. But on tight end day, you got to get 12 targets and 10 receptions, right? So it's wild because actually him and Kittle are like neck and neck as far as fantasy points, and they pretty much are the ones that created tight end day, right? Well, in a sense, the same like they are the ones that started tight end U and brought this whole love the position thing together. And Kittle's right up underneath him and tight end 3 with 6 receptions, 128 yards and a touchdown. And we all know what Kittle do when he played Dallas, man. So that wasn't no surprise, man. What you thinking about Kelce and Kittle right now this week?
Kittle's been he's been different though. He's been dominating. He's been top 10 every single week this year. And I know he's Kittle, so everyone loves him. But I feel like maybe this is just me, but in my brain, I have this tarnished thought and history of him having big weeks and then having bad weeks. But again, there's no McCaffrey there. Ayuk's out. There's guys that have been banged up every single week this year. Remember last year, you go back and look at the board. He had to open up the season. He was tight end 22 and 29. Week 4, he was tight end 40. Week 6, he was tight end 39. Week 12, he was 20. He hasn't had these down games. He's been up every single week. Even in week 1, when he only scored 8 fantasy points PPR, he was the number 10 overall tight end. So the Kittle thing has continued to build, and he's kind of the focal point in fantasy of this roster right now. We'll obviously see what that looks like when McCaffrey's back in a couple weeks. But this has been his season, and if you were going to bet on anybody today, and he's the tight end 1 in fantasy right now, if you're going to bet on anybody today to finish the season as tight end 1, this would be the Kittle season, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But I think a lot of that, what you said with his numbers was because remember, Brandon Ayuk had 1,400 yards. Debo was doing his thing. CMC was, almost breaking the record as, offensive player of the year last year. So all that around him, Kittle had to, sit back. And now CMC gone, Jordan Mason active and, getting hurt week to week. Debo isn't the best Debo right now, and Ayuk gone. So who do we lean on? That one guy that we know has been around, and maybe we put him in the back seat last year, but it's time to ride shotgun right now, man. And Kittle is definitely riding with his foot up on the dashboard, window open. and his head breezing through the wind, man. So shout out to Kittle, bro, because I love me some Kittle, man. He got that energy. He always, even off the field, man, Kittle seemed like a cool, dope guy to hang with. So I always been a Kittle fan, regardless of the logo on the side of the helmet. And yeah, tight end one, man. George Kittle right now, bro. And back to back from there, we got McBride and Pitts, man. And I'll let you speak on McBride. I'm gonna touch on some unicorn talk, man, right after that.
I mean, McBride's been sicko. He's been a sicko ever since Zach Ertz left Arizona last year. We've seen McBride get that work. He was tight end 1, 2, 3, multiple opportunities the back half of last season. And we haven't even gotten to the back half of this season. And McBride's continuing to prove who he is. Yes, he's had some down weeks, but this offense has been bobbing and weaving and flowing as we go. But he's been predominantly a tight end 1 in most weeks. And I think it's just good to see him run, close to 100% of the routes and continue to dominate and continue to be a focal point in this offense and be the most targeted player. So we love McBride. He's a Yak King. He's a kind of a young version of George Kittle in my eyes, and kind of was coming out of Colorado State when he was targeted 100 times there. So McBride's just a complete savage, and it's good to see him get on board here in National Tight End Day.
Yeah. And honestly, he can do this every week. We just gotta hope that Kyler can do what he's doing every week. So yeah, man, shout out to McBride. And I gotta show my love to my boy Kyle Pitts, man. He's always been thrown in the mud, man. We over Pitts, he was overdrafted, overhyped. He's not what we thought he was. And I keep telling people, bro, the circumstances just weren't right, man. You know what I'm saying? We make excuses for quarterbacks and receivers, but we don't make excuses for tight ends that are receivers. Like Kyle Pitts isn't a tight end, bro. He's a receiver playing tight end. He might not have the cuts and the moves like a receiver, but I believe that's because of lack of training for his position. If he really wanted to play receiver and they can convert him into one, he can be one. So for him to be a tight end and not get the love he's been not getting all year, man, that's always been my dog, man. And this week he came off with a top 5 tight end performance, Cody, but he only had 5 targets. He had 5 targets, 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns, which one of them he almost threw away because he dropped the ball on like a inch line. Like, I don't know why he didn't just secure the ball or whatever, but like Pitts, you don't even get enough touchdowns in your career to be letting one go. You know what I'm saying? So he only played 48% of snaps. So this is what I'm saying. Like, for him to have a top 5 tight end game at 48% snaps, only 5 targets, he still had almost 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, man. That let me know if this guy had a Trey McBride target share, 11 or 12, no reason he can't be top 3 in the league, man. I don't think that London and Bijan and those guys are going to allow him to do that. But if you look at my boy Kyle Pitts, man, what he did on a light day's work, I know what he can do on a heavy work, though. So I definitely had to over talk for my boy Pitts, man. But we got some surprise names in here. Sam Laporta finally graced us with his presence. Still a weak game in a sense, only 48 yards, but he had 6 catches, a touchdown. What you think about Sam Laporta, man? Is he ever going to reach, I guess, this top 3, 4-ish tight end position for us, man, this year? Or is he kind of like just taking a seat back, man, from that guy that we saw last year?
You talked about it before with Kittle. When those other guys were healthy, McCaffrey and Ayuk and Debo and stuff, like, this is what this is. When we asked for Waymo from JMO, this is what we got. That's what we signed up for, getting less Laporta. So it was expected. But then this week, we talked about it last week. I don't even remember. I do too many shows. I can't remember what shows I talked about it on. Maybe it was this one. Maybe it was another one. But we knew this was a Laporta situation where he could succeed with no JMO. So pretty cut clear. His season high in targets here was 6. You just kind of got to play it in spots. It's only a second game, double-digit fantasy points this year, unfortunately. But we know he's good. It just comes down to focal point.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I mean, when you look at these surprise names, man, you got Adam Troutman in here with 4 receptions, 85 yards and a touchdown. And Njoku with Jameis Winston now is his quarterback with 61 yards and a touchdown with a hell of a catch. He should earn extra points for that catch that he got for that touchdown. Zach Ertz, who had 77 yards, he didn't get a touchdown, but when you look at how the flow of the game was, man, for him to have 77 yards and they only scored 18 points, and that was a Hail Mary pass. So Zach Ertz, man, the wishing well is back, and his guy Cliff Kingsbury, that's his guy anyway. So Cliff's definitely gonna make sure Ertz is eating. Tucker Craft, 78 yards, touchdown. My boy Mandrews is back, man. I mean, the yards haven't really been the thing for him, but he got another touchdown. That's like 3 weeks in a row with a tutty. Mike Gesicki, man. One thing about Gesicki, I'm not sure if you're a Gesicki fan, Cody, but one, we all know he can't dance, right? We know he can't celebrate. He doesn't know what he's doing. But the guy makes hell of a catch. He make hella catches, man. When I see like the type of catches he make, it's a one arm, behind the back. He reaching out. He got a highlight reel of a catch reel, man, for Gesicki, even though he's not as productive as we want him to be. So I like Gesicki, man. I'm a fan. I think he wanted to be a Kittle. He's just not as good, but
he's a big goofy sumbitch, dude.
He is, man. He is. But I like Gesicki, man. He make good plays, man. He just a wild card at times. Evan Ingram touchdown. Kincaid finally, showed up. He got a touchdown. Tyler Conklin, Josh Oliver scored a touchdown. That was random as hell, I'm sure. Nate Atkins, my bad. Nate Atkins from the Denver Broncos.
South Carolina Gamecocks, baby.
Wow. Like what's going on here, Cody? So
I clocked that dude at a pro day last year at like a 5.17 40-yard dash.
Damn. 5.17?
5.17. He caught that touchdown, and I'm sitting on my couch, and my buddy's over. My buddy was in town this past weekend, and Nate Atkins scores, and I go, holy shit, Nate Atkins scored. Yeah. What the hell? He goes, what? I go, man, I clocked that guy like over 5 seconds in the 40-yard dash. I just started burst out laughing.
You got a touchdown, bro.
I was going to be in the league.
Hey, McCole Pruitt, he scored for the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. No, my fault. Damn, I'm looking at the target. I just had the other touchdown. Damn, I just had one other person with a touchdown, Cody. Maybe that was it. Was that it? That might have been it, bro. I don't think nobody else scored a touchdown. I'm sitting looking through my list. I want to say your boy Atkins might have been the last one. Oh, there you go. Brock Wright. There we go. Brock Wright had, I think, the last. Yeah, Brock Wright, right? Another Detroit Lion. Not a surprise. They had 52 points. So, 16 touchdowns, Cody, 177 yards for these tight ends, man. It was a hell of a way to celebrate their day. And hopefully, if your kid plays tight end, you show them this day right here, show them these stats and let them know, man, the tight end position matters, but only on one day of the year, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Look forward to this day every year. Next year, I will be putting my ticket in on this tight ends day, man, because I missed out on some big bucks, bro. Yeah, man, that Senior Bowl, man. Hey, hopefully, this year you get to go down there and figure out the next best great tight end. I know we got some coming out of the league. I think we done on week 8, man. Any surprises or anything you looking forward to on week 9? Or any, just anything in general, bro. I know we gonna look on week 9, but any college player you want to talk about right quick, bro, before we just scramble through the next week's matchups, or you good? How you want to do it?
Oh, man, I'm in the middle of actually writing up a column on all these quarterbacks, so I ain't got it done yet, but I'm working on it. That'll be up at some point this week. You can probably find that the easiest way on my Twitter. I'll pin that thing at the top.
Okay.
Either
tonight Colorado was finally eligible for a bowl this year, and
yeah. And they look good, man. They got ranked. I like Colorado. I mean, I think everybody does, but it's uphill. It's gonna be an uphill climb for them to get into the playoff. But that shouldn't be at the top of their list of worries, right? They should be one game at a time. I think Dion knows that. Yeah. I think Trav is bouncing back off of the injuries the last 2 weeks. Docked him for me in the Heisman, and then his bounce back this week going absolutely nuclear. 2 touchdowns, multiple passes deflected on defense, over 120 snaps played. Like, he bounced right back. I mean, everybody knows he's the best football player in the country, in the world. Yeah. But winning a Heisman, you have to have a model of consistency. You can't have any drop-offs. And if you do have a drop-off like an injury, you got to bounce back immediately. And he bounced back in flying colors. So I love where Trav is at. We've talked about Cam Ward before. He's kind of the leader in the clubhouse for Heisman right now. But I think it's between those two guys. I'm not buying this Dylan Gabriel stuff. Nah. I don't think Genti's really going to break the records. I think he's going to get close. I don't think he's going to quite do it. And I think for him to win it as a running back, I think he has to break the records.
Yeah, got to.
So
unfortunately.
Trav should get a flower, the full flower, not just a pedal. He should get a full flower.
Yeah, well, he was a defensive and offensive player this week. That they said first time ever, that was done. So, yeah, man, it seemed week to week, college, man, you can have one bad week and you thrown at the bottom of 30 other teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just how it go, man. Too many players to really not be consistent. So you got to be at the top of your game at all times in that league. And hopefully, man, like you said, Trav get his flowers, man. I just want him. I mean, I know we in a different age, so we in media now. He got his own show, but a lot of times people, they don't like when you outspoken and you talk. And I think when he spoke on that Genty thing, a lot of people, he kind of rubbed some people wrong. So hopefully that's not changing their mind on giving him what he deserved. And he ain't say nothing wrong. He just said what he felt about, him being a Heisman and him.
He did the truth.
Yeah, that's it. But some people don't like hearing the truth, especially these voters and these people that, they want you to be a good boy all the time and keep your mouth closed and play football. But hopefully Trav get his flowers, man, and just keep doing this thing, man. But moving on, man, we sprinkle in some week 9 and, just kind of go over, I guess, some of the best games before we get up out of here, or some of the biggest impact games. And from what I'm looking at, I know you said this Jets game on Thursday, the Texans and the Jets. I know it's a must win for both teams, really. I think the Texans need to win this too, especially with did we hear any status on Diggs? He was a non-contact, and then next thing I know, they said, "Oh yeah, he's going to miss Thursday."
He tore his ACL.
Oh, it came out already. He tore
came out. Yeah, I didn't see it live. I mean, I saw him go. I saw him go down, but I didn't see anything until yesterday afternoon. I saw like a Schefter tweet that was like 4 hours old, and it was like Stephon Diggs tore his ACL, and I was like, "What the what?"
Damn. But honestly, I knew, man, and you know what's so crazy? We got the Texans too, Cody. We cannot get this Diggs versus Diggs matchup, bro. Every time when he was in Buffalo when we played them, Trayvon was hurt. Now we got him again, and Stephon is hurt. So, damn, bro, I wanted to see that matchup, man. I hate to see my boy Diggs out for the season, man. And honestly, Cody, I'm not gonna lie. I think I might got the voodoo this year, bro. I got a team where I had Cooper Kupp, Puka, Diggs. Give me who was another big injury? Jeez, I mean everybody. Oh man, I lost so many people. Tua, I had Tua. Jeez, I suffered so many. Oh, Chris Godwin, I traded for Chris Godwin 3 weeks later. so listen, if you have any of these guys, you might be in danger. Yeah, Cody, I got a team right now, bro. I got the voodoo, man. I don't know what's going on with this roster, bro. But yeah, man. I guess overall for this game, man, I guess the biggest takes are going to be the Jets, right? Our emphasis is what are the Jets going to do this game, pretty much.
This is make or break. They're done. They're done. They have to have this at home. They have to have a game like this to kind of correct this thing, because the Cardinals and Colts are 2 winnable games. This one is not looked at as a winnable game, but it's at home. It's in prime time. You got to wake up. You got to cut this 5-game losing streak off today and get this thing right going to this bye. They got to go into this bye at 5-6 or this team's done. I mean, I think it's done already, but that's the bottom line.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that. And I mean, we could breeze through a couple of these games, man. Kind of rapid fire it. Dolphins and the Bills. This is a must win for the Dolphins. 100% division game. Hopefully Tua walks out without a concussion like he, had the last time he played the Bills, and seemed like, this usually happens in this division. So, Dolphins and Bills. Who you got winning, and what's your take, man? Real quick, bro.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't hear a single word he just said, because T-Rock said there's nothing official on Diggs, so I was looking for the Diggs tweet really quick.
Well, I mean, because I didn't know it was official either, but I know they said he was gonna miss Thursday, and I'm thinking, you think like that's too early? I know he's gonna miss this game, but I didn't read official.
I gotta find this tweet, because I saw it last night and I shared it in a group chat.
Yeah, because I'm reading right now. It says Stephon misses practice on Monday.
Oh, I got fucking sheftied.
Oh, you got the Adam Adams Schultz.
I got Adam
something.
Shelford.
Yeah.
Oh, whore.
Hey, you was looking at Shannon Sharp's burner account or something, man.
I got Adam Shelford. Yeah, it says this is Adam SCHE1FER.
Yeah. Yeah, you was looking at that burner account, brother. It's cool. Like I said, because I didn't read it either, but I definitely saw that he was gonna miss Thursday, and I'm thinking I know that for sure. But still, no contact injury, bro. We know what those come with, and even if it's not something for the year, he's definitely gonna miss a couple of weeks. That's minimum. So it's all good, brother. Sometimes, man, the eyes, they play tricks on us, bro. It's all cool, man.
Man, sometimes you're scrolling, you're just looking for shit, you just find it. You're like,
I'm hip. I'm hip, bro. Listen, I'm hip, man. Hey, you caught the
maybe
Tubi
we
version.
still got that digs on digs. We'll see.
You got the Tubi version, brother. It's all good, man. We still love you, my boy. But yeah, Dolphins and Bills, man. Like I said, what's your biggest take on this game? Must win for the Dolphins. We kind of breezed through some games, but Dolphins and Bills, man. What you think going on here?
I mean, the Dolphins need this one too. And if you talk about teams, these are all teams that need these wins more than anything right now to kind of correct their season. We think these are good teams. You got the Jets at home against the Texans. You got the Dolphins going on the road to go see the Bills. I think that those are like the two teams this week that are sitting in spots where we still believe they're good football teams, but they got tough matchups this week, and they just need to get going today. Like, you got to shit or get off the pot. It's Halloween. Yeah. As Bill Belichick always says, you play your best football around Halloween, you get going towards Thanksgiving, and you're cooking. And we're on the cook up. We're talking about teams getting cooking. The Dolphins and the Jets, they need to figure out the seasoning. They got to put it in the stew. They got to turn that burger up from simmer to boil. They got to get bitch moving, and they got to try to play some football here. And hopefully Tua, coming off of his second week back now, can maybe give us a little 400 or something on the Bills and get Tyreek going, get Jalen Waddle going, and get this offense cooking.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm with you on all that, because the Dolphins, to me, they definitely missed out on a big opportunity of a season this year. So I'm with you, man. I see the Colts and the Vikings got flex, and both my brothers, and I think moms too, they supposed to be going to the Jaguars and Philly game. Both my brothers are Jags and Eagles fans, but I know they're a little salty that they got flexed out, man, because I know they're looking forward to going to that night game. So mom's tried to get me to go, Cody. I told her, no, sir, I'm good, and y'all enjoy your trip. I'm gonna stay home and enjoy my couch, man. So hopefully y'all have a good game.
Fans or Eagles fans?
Well, one of my brothers, my middle brother, Molly, he's a Jags fan, and my youngest brother, Vaughn, is an Eagles fan. So literally, they going because we might not play them for another 4 years. So they had the opportunity to go. My mother she said, "Do you want to go? You can take my." No, y'all have a good time. I'll be home. So hopefully they enjoy again. And if it was a night game, it probably would have been a little different. Cause now they done flexed it out because the Jaguars stink. I'm pretty sure that kind of killed the whole vibe for the trip. But hopefully they have a good time, because I ain't gonna be there, man. So enjoy that one. But I think biggest game before we get out of here, Cody, I think it was going to be the Bucs and the Chiefs if the Bucs had the offense that they had. But right now, man, I think the Packers and the Lions, bro, that should have been the flex, to be honest. I don't know why that couldn't have been, but
I think it was protected. I think they protected it. It was Fox probably protected it for the game.
Okay. Well, Lions and the Packers, man. What's your biggest take? I think that's the biggest matchup for this week. Looking at the schedule, and we can get out of here on that tip, man. Lions and Packers, bro. What you think?
It's a game of the week, point blank. Period. This is pretty cut and clear.
Do we get a healthy Jordan Love though, or what's that's the question? I don't know. Right?
I mean, that's to be determined given the rest of the week and how that unfolds. But I hope we do, because this is we're going to also get this game on December 5th. So we got to wait another month. We'll get it in the Dome up there in Detroit. I think that one's on Monday night when that one comes around here. But, or maybe it's Thursday night. I can't recall. It's December 5th or Thursday or Monday. That's probably a good, that's not the week after Thanksgiving, is it? December.
No, it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
So it's the week after. So that's the classic. The Lions play Thanksgiving against the Dolphins, and then they get the week after
10 days off. Yep.
All right, the Green Bay gets okay. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, it's a good game. It's a big game, and we're gonna get it again in a month. But this definitely puts a shape on where the division goes right now. Both teams are just mad hot. I think even with Malik, the focal point of the offense shifts to be more run centric. But we know Malik can get the football out, and if you're out there and you don't believe in that, and you want to fade Green Bay because potentially Malik Willis is playing, you're wrong. You're going to get free points in this one if Malik plays. And, they're going to move this line down. Right now, the line is
I was just about to look
Detroit
it up.
by 3.
Oh, yeah.
-3. This line has moved from yesterday. It was at 5. It's down to 3 right now. So it's going in the direction of Love being banged up, of course, or Love potentially, if Love doesn't play. Actually, no, I'm saying that backwards. Lions were favored by 5. Now they're favored by 3. So that's going in the direction of Love probably playing.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, even if he plays, we want the full Love experience. You know what I'm saying? We want all the love, brother. We don't want half of it. We don't want half the love. We want all the love. You know what I'm saying? Big love. You know what I'm saying? We need the love in this building, bro. So yeah, man. We need that game though, bro. And I'm looking, man. If you look at the evening games, we got the Rams, Seattle, Lions, Packers. It's a good slate of games. There's only 2 of the Bears and the Cardinals. It's a solid evening matchup lineup. Jags and Eagles, whatever. But usually, man, them 4:00 games was last year, especially, was tough to watch, man. So this should be some good evening football after the 1:00 games or early games for sure.
It's a good quad box right there.
100%, bro. Damn, I didn't even think about it. You're right. You watching YouTube TV, man, that quad box, that's going to be a banger right there. I ain't even think about that. You're right. So, yeah, that's a good take, man. And hey, man, look like we got the cooking, man. The people entered the kitchen. They showed us some love, man. We fed them what they needed. And hey, I had a good time this morning, brother. You kind of woke me up, man. When I got on here, I was like, Cody, man, I ain't feeling it, bro. I didn't even wake up until like 9:15, bro. I was just been overworked, overtired, man. But I'm here.
Talking about tight ends. What are you talking about?
You're right. But yeah, I'm here now, man. But y'all done woke me up, man. I appreciate y'all getting me back where I need to be, man. I'm feeling good. So, always shout out to the people that tap in with us, man. But I guess before we get out of here, Cody, man, before you go finish your other eight opportunities and shows you got going on today, bro. What you got? Anything else you want to talk to the people about?
No, I was trying to think of something. I got nothing. I was gonna give a take on something, but I got nothing.
My man said, no. Okay. All right, cool. That's good. Well,
usually when I get and I'm like, usually I got something. It'll just roll off the tongue. I don't even got to think about it. But I got purely nothing. It's October 29th. It's Tuesday. I mean, it's the middle of the week. We're cooking it up. Middle of the season.
Yeah.
Halloween's on Thursday. Go buy yourself a pumpkin. Carve it with your kids. Cook it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Put them pumpkin seeds in the oven.
Right?
Do the damn thing. Enjoy your week. We appreciate you and we love you. That's all I got.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Next week we're gonna do that half season review on them awards. But I guess before we get out of here, man, speaking of that tight end day and National Tight End Day, and probably checking out how good the tight ends have been over the season, man. Anybody that's trying to win those leagues, man, we halfway through the season in real life, and we a couple of ways from the playoffs, man. If you haven't signed up for the Warp 2, man, I think now is the time more than ever. All the Warp data is pretty much been solidified, and it'll establish you and the rest of your league and where you stand, whether you should keep going, fade the team, sell off players. You'll figure out everything, man, on this Warp 2, bro. So tap into the Warp 2, southharmon.com/warp, WORP. I got that in a couple of the intro songs, baby. So check into that Warp, man. Check out the website, southharmon.com. southharmonff.com. Sorry, southharmonff.com. We got T-Rock with his articles, the Warp 2, weekly rankings Maddie put up there. So just stay tapped in, stay locked in, man. We got the lab in case, you want to be free today and just look up your team and check out how your team is looking, bro. But we got every tool you need, all the utensils, man, that eat good, baby. So let's win them games, win them leagues, and keep winning their life. You know what I'm saying, Cody? A lot of people ain't winning their life because they just out here BS and playing around, bro. So let's keep winning in life. Let's keep tapping in, baby, and keep cooking, man. So we appreciate y'all being here. We love y'all being here. And next week, we right back on track. So before we get out of here, man, to cook up, we cooking, we leaving the kitchen. Let's get one, Cody, before we head out, bro. We gonna end it like that, baby. Cody, we out this thing. South Harmon.